You are now tuned into the DFPN, the Dat Feelin' Podcast Network. The following introduction has been paid for by the Dat Feelin' Podcast Network. This is the No Gimmicks Podcast. This is the No Gimmicks Podcast. Hosted by Frank D and Blak. This is the No Gimmicks Podcast. The following is... Yo, what is up, people, ladies, gentlemen? Welcome back to the No Gimmicks Podcast here on the DFPN. I am your host, Blak Makk. This fabulous Frank D. You put that shit...
That's right. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. You know, a couple years ago when I was interviewing the Honky Tonk Man, he called me Fabulous Frankie D.
And it stuck.
And it stuck. And it sounds perfect. You know what I'm saying? Because I am the man.
Fuck out of here. Oh man. So tonight we got a good show for y'all, man. We're gonna talk about something non-wrestling related, but wrestling related, as it's impacting everything around us. So we can't just leave this shit out. We're gonna talk about it here tonight. But before we do all that, let's get into these sponsors. So shout out to The Plugs Earbuds. Go to www.gettheplugs.com. Enter in code DFPN10 for a 10% discount. Shout out to Audio Swim and Premier Element UAE. Subscribe to the Bandcamp. Go to datfeelin.bandcamp.com. Again, the show will be ad-free on the Patreon. So go to www.patreon.com/datfeelinpodcast. Get this and many other episodes ad-free. We got a shit ton of them coming. And then finally, the merch. Go to teespring.com. Search for Dat Feelin' Podcast. You get all of the merch available. Now, with that being said, bro, let's get into this show. One of the things that we talked about going on the air before we went on the air, COVID. It is fucking rampant out here again. And this was the kick out. COVID kicked out at 2. And it's back. It's back in the match. Looks like it's getting ready for another big spot, another high spot here in America. So what we feeling about it, man? What we feeling about it?
Well, first of all, to all the people out there that have gotten vaccinated, like, you know, yourself, my question would be is, what do you feel about it? Because you've been vaccinated. Lots of people have gotten the jab, okay? But the CDC comes out, people like Fauci or whatever, they'll come out and say, well, you need to wear a mask indoors and all that. And the problem I have with that is that it's kind of sending mixed signals, sending mixed messages.
Right.
Does the shit work or the shit doesn't work? And what people need to also understand is that when you're dealing with, you know, viruses tend to mutate over time.
Right.
So the Delta variant is just a mutation of what's already there. And people are freaking the fuck out about this thing here. We had a celebrity fan fest that was going to be happening here in San Antonio at Six Flags Fiesta Terrace or Fiesta Texas. Man, Hayden Christensen was going to be there. He played Anakin Skywalker and the prequel Star Wars trilogy movies. Ewan McGregor was going to be there. You had David Mazouz, who played Bruce Wayne on Gotham. Yeah, you had Robin Lord Taylor, who played the Penguin on Gotham. We got a bunch of cats that were going to be at this thing. And they pulled out due to the COVID cases, spiking in the country. And I'm like, I heard the other day a doctor come on and say basically that he believes that it's going to peak in August. Yeah, it's fucking hot. So, of course, it's going to peak in August. So, I just think that, I know, look, COVID's real. Absolutely. It's a real deal.
Yes.
Okay. But like I've said before, they're always talking about how many cases that they have. Like in Texas, it's like almost 3 million cases of COVID.
Right.
50-something thousand deaths. Okay. With people who have died from underlying health issues related to COVID.
Right.
You never hear them talking about, well, how many people have recovered from COVID? They never seem to break that down to me. It's always two numbers they put up there. How many, or three numbers, I should say. How many cases we have in the entire United States?
Right.
How many cases your state has, and how many deaths? That's it.
Okay.
Let me hear about how many people have actually recovered and survived from the shit.
Right.
Because you don't die from COVID. You die from having underlying issues. That's what it is. Your underlying health issues. There was at a point in time when they was marking everything. People were dying from COVID. You can get fucking shot, and it was putting down you died from COVID. You know what I'm saying? It's like when COVID happened, bro. All of a sudden, you don't hear no more about the cancers. You don't hear no more about the heart disease. You don't hear no more about the diabetes. You don't hear no more about all this other shit. It was all cured because COVID.
Not really.
Well, I know that, but I'm just saying they was marking everything because it was like at the point in time where they would be like, well, we're gonna give certain hospitals got a certain amount of money, depending on how many COVID cases you have. So.
Well, that's an interesting way of looking at it. I know in California they do have but you got to look for it. I understand like national news syndicates, they only put like the people infected, the number infected, the number of deaths, right? That's like nationally. But if you really look at the numbers, they do put how many people recover, but they only do it by county, right? So you have to go to like those county places to actually look and see the numbers. Like you got to really look for the shit if you really want to find out like how many people it's like what age group is actually affecting the most. Like this wave right now is it's really high in the younger generation of people, right? So these are all the people in the last wave that they said you won't be really affected by it, and that's where the misinformation is really coming from, because you have like when the wave started, it was like, well, if you're in this group, you're pretty safe, right? It won't affect you this much, and then now this wave is affecting that people, right? So it needs to be a blanket. It needs to be a blanket, right? Like me, I don't give a shit. Like my normal life is pretty much quarantine, so I don't fucking care. Like put everybody in the fucking house for 2 months, the shit will go away. Like that's all you have to do. Put everybody in the fucking house. Don't go nowhere for 2 months.
Well, here's the thing. The mistake that was made in the beginning with the whole situation is when they locked everything down and kept everybody in the house to prevent the virus. But here's the thing. When it comes down to it, you have a situation where you need to be out there in society. Your body, your immune system needs to be out taking these bacteria in there so it can build your immune system so you can fight shit. You can build your antibodies. You can't do that when they're telling you, okay, only for essential this, essential that. No wonder motherfuckers got sick when they got outside when everything came out, because people's immune systems were down. They were fucking. It was crap. Vulnerable. You were vulnerable at that point. So my point is, you got a situation here, especially when it comes down to where they say, well, who's the ones that's not vaccinated the most? What population? What ethnicities are not vaccinated? It's the black and brown. Mm-hmm. You know why? Because Look at the situation how black people have been done in the past when it comes down to medical research. Look at how black people are done today in hospitals. You're still getting mistreated. So domestic, still the same situation, same shit. We don't get the same care that say a Caucasian would get. We don't get it unless you got money. It ain't a fucking race thing. It's not a race thing, but in reality, it is. And just how the situation is right now, like we were talking about, is you want people, okay, you got on this side, you got the vaccinated, and on this other side, you got the unvaccinated. It's like you're in fucking Nazi Germany or something, bro. You go into a place, oh, show me your fucking papers. Show me, show me if you've been, and to me, isn't that segregation? You got one side over here that can't do shit, and they got the other side over here that be like, oh, we vaccinated, we better than you motherfuckers. Am I the only one saying this shit?
I see what you're saying. I don't see it in that light though, right? Like they just not purposely trying to segregate people. Because if you get to a point where it's too many people out, like you said, mutations can happen, right? And this new mutation is fucking deadly. It's way more contagious. And if you let it hang around, then the people who are vaccinated it's going to find a way to get to them, which is why they're saying what they're saying. So there's reasons why they're saying what they're saying.
But look, I'm up here like this, man. Okay, I look at this. I look at the shit on TV. I look at them talking to Fauci about the shit. Okay, and the motherfucking lying through his teeth about the origin of the shit. We know what happened. We know where it came from. But everybody's being protected. You know what I mean?
That hasn't been a secret.
No, it ain't been a secret. But you got people up here lying, and the people that's lying up here about the shit are the same ones telling you, oh, well, the motherfucker had an email that said the masks don't really work. But they're telling you, wear a mask. It don't make no sense to me. This whole situation doesn't make any fucking sense to me. You're dealing with some shit here you're dealing with some shit here. You shut down economies. You fucking ran people's businesses out of business for some bullshit. And that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's some bullshit. It's all bullshit. And to me, it's all fucking political fucking games. It's all about how much can you control the people.
So here's where I separate it, right? And I am vaccinated, but the reason I am vaccinated is not a political reason at all. So I got vaccinated because I did the research on it, and I got a specific vaccine because I did the research on that specific vaccine versus everything else, right? So the reason I got it is because I had friends that had it. I knew people that died from the shit, and I seen what it did to them before they died. That's why I ended up getting the vaccine. My shit wasn't political at all. And it's just that I know my body, right? Like I don't handle sickness well at all. And what it was doing to the people I knew that caught the shit, like I knew I didn't want that. So that's why I did my research and got vaccinated. But when
it comes down to it, I'm not saying like necessarily that your situation is political. I'm just talking about it's political. The entire situation is riddled in fucking politics. It's all riddled in politics, man.
Yes.
The whole situation is so riddled in. It's like I mean, fuck it. We keep it 1,000 on this podcast at all times. Okay. Yeah. You can't tell me that a motherfucker changes overnight. You feel me? Don't tell me.
No, they don't.
Don't tell me that all these years that Joe Biden didn't like black people, and all of a sudden now you the biggest. you love black people all of a sudden. Fuck you.
I mean, yeah, that's to get votes.
You know what I mean? That right there is a bunch of bullshit. Just like this whole thing right now with this fucking vaccine is a bunch of bullshit. Ain't no telling what the fuck they actually giving you, bro. I'm just keeping 1,000. You don't know what the long-term effects of the shit is. You don't know, like, does it make you sterile? Does it bring on other shit later on? Because that's where I'm having the situation is, and that's where a lot of the concern comes, especially from the black community.
Right. But here's the thing about COVID. You don't know the long-term effects of those either. Because if you get that shit, chances are it's fucked up a vital functioning part of your body, right?
Bruh, you got fucking, listen, let me put it like this. Everything we do in this world is fucking up a vital part of our body. It don't matter. You got motherfuckers out there. Vaccinated. You got motherfuckers out there that never smoked a day in their life will die from lung cancer. You feel me?
You might as well get the vaccine then.
Who, me?
Yeah, if anything gonna kill you, shit, take the vaccine.
Hey man, it ain't cause see that shit might shrink my dick. So fuck that.
You never know. You never know. I'm still blessed. I'm just saying.
Hey, look, man. That's cool, brother. That's cool. You know what I'm saying?
I'm still blessed.
Yeah,
that's
you
all
the man.
I'm saying.
Yeah, you the man.
If I lost the itch, I don't know. But
I'm just saying, bro. I'm
still good.
As far as it goes with wrestling, look, AEW, WWE trying to come back strong with crowds. I hope that it doesn't fuck shit up. I honestly hope it doesn't. I don't necessarily think it will in the long run of things. I don't think it will. They're not going to go back to locking shit down. That's not going to happen. The disaster of the fucking lockdown. You can't do it. You know what I mean? Right. So we'll see what happens in the next couple weeks. I don't particularly. I think things are going to go as far as it relates to wrestling. They're going to continue on with the live shows or what they do. And look, if people want to feel safe and secure, wear the fucking mask. Whatever.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's at your
my mom wears masks. They're more comfortable with it because and the bottom line, when it comes to the mask, let me keep it 1,000. You got some nasty motherfuckers out there, man. You got motherfuckers out there that will sneeze and not even fucking cover their fucking mouth. And cough and not cover their mouth. You just nasty. So people like that shit. But then on the same token, you got motherfuckers out there that take advantage of that shit. I'm talking to your Chirac motherfuckers. Your Chirac motherfuckers out there will take advantage of that mask and go do your thing. You feel me?
That's true though. That's true. But I mean, if it makes you feel safe, man, do that shit. Whether you vaccinated or not, I just
don't listen to me. Yeah, don't listen. Don't listen to me. Don't listen to the fucking guy that's wearing the New World Order t-shirt. And if you do your research on what the New World Order actually is, hey, you know what I mean?
I mean, Four Horsemen too. Like pretty much a lot of wrestler shit is doomsday prep. You know what I mean? Like it's doomsday prep. But
right.
But while we on the subject of wrestling, let's move on to another.
Yeah. Real quick though, because I want to send a shout out to somebody real quick. He's in our group on Facebook.
Yeah.
His name was Michael Blak.
Yeah.
Mr. Wants to send clips and shit of the Road Warriors and all that shit. Yeah. I saw a hell of a tag match the other night between Demolition, who actually go out there and work a match, unlike Hawk and Animal. Demolition, Axe and Smash out there going at it with the Hart Foundation. SummerSlam '88. Check it out on Peacock.
Not impressed. I'm not impressed.
Not impressed?
No.
Yeah. Whatever, man.
I'm not impressed.
I will put fucking Vince McMahon's mansion up against any Road Warriors match. All right. And
seriously?
Fuck yeah, man. What match have the Road Warriors ever had that's like, damn, I gotta go back and watch that shit?
The scaffold match.
The scaffold that with the Midnight Express?
Mm-hmm.
That's bullshit.
That was
They were scared. They were scared as fuck.
That was a good match.
They were scared as fuck during that match.
Stop playing.
Look at Bobby Eaton. Look at Bobby Eaton. Bobby Eaton don't even want to. Bruh, look at Bobby Eaton during that match. He didn't want to be up there. Hawk and Animal didn't want to be up there.
You wild.
And out of all matches, and I'm surprised at you, man. Out of all fucking matches to defend, you go to the fucking gimmick scaffold match. There was no fucking gimmick with the Hart Foundation versus Demolition at SummerSlam, there was no gimmick. It was
because they had to wrestle. You in there with the hearts.
It was a story.
You have to. You're in there with the hearts.
Hey,
You're
man.
in there with arguably WWE's greatest tag team ever.
Look, man,
that's who you're in there with.
But Hawk and Animal were in there with the Midnight Express. Arguably the best tag team.
You're comparing apples to oranges, bro.
Bruh,
they in there with the best workers
team
in the industry. Period.
Yeah, and so were the Midnight Express.
Man, you
for JCP, for Jim Crockett Promotions, the best tag team over there was fucking the Midnight Express, man.
This is what I'm saying.
Oh, bullshit. The Hart Foundation carried Demolition match. Bullshit.
That is what I'm saying.
Bullshit.
That is what I'm fucking saying.
Bullshit.
Hart Foundation carried that match. Match.
So that's right.
When Demolition was in the WWF.
Hold the fuck up for a second. Hold on. You telling me that the Hart Foundation, the Rhino, fucking
yes.
The Rhino fucking carried a match.
Yes.
Look, man,
this is what I'm telling you.
Bret Hart was the Hart Foundation. Jim Neidhart was there. And
he carried them. Carried them. Matter of fact, Demolition's whole WWF run was probably against some of wrestling's best tag teams ever.
Bruh. They got over
so their work. You didn't have to try hard. You just had to look.
Matter of fact, go back to WrestleMania 4, Demolition versus what's it called? Tito Santana and Rick Martel for the tag team title.
Great tag.
Look at that fucking match.
Great tag team. They were a great tag team. Singles, not so great, but as a tag team,
who wasn't
great?
Wait. Who wasn't? What do you mean? Who are you talking about? Singles wasn't good. Who are you talking about?
Not Tito. Rick Martel.
Rick Martel was a fucking man. Rick Martel could work.
He could work, but they were better as a tag team. He wasn't over. He wasn't as over as they were as a tag team.
Bullshit. That motherfucker got more over as the model. He got over as the model.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
So you mean tell me Tito Santana got over with that fucking El Matador bullshit?
He fucking did. Did.
What you drinking over there? What you drinking over there?
I'm not drinking shit. I'm drinking bubbly. A little bit of bubbly. Water, motherfucker. Yeah. I'm not drinking shit. I'm telling you.
Well, that vaccine into your brain. That's the long-term effect of that shit. It's fucking up your shit. That's what it is.
It's enabling truth.
Yeah, fuck that. That ain't truth. That's as much truth as fucking Vince McMahon acting like a fucking welfare recipient when WCW was whooping his ass.
Mm-hmm.
Can't take the water. We gotta remove the water machines out the building because we can't afford water. Shit.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of Vince McMahon, he said some interesting shit this week.
I saw it.
He said, "Send them more."
Yeah, I don't know who the hell he's talking about.
Why the fuck would he say some shit like that?
Because it's Vince. You're not worried about him. You wouldn't say no shit like that. You wouldn't even acknowledge him. Vince, back in the day, Vince never, ever, ever wanted to acknowledge WCW.
No,
he never wanted to do that. No. But AEW, he'll I don't look at them as competition like I did WCW. Motherfucker, you need to wake up. They're beating you in that 18 to 49 demographic. They're whooping your ass. 3 weeks over 1 million? Yeah. You need to wake up and see what it is. I'm not saying they're going to catapult anything because I didn't like that Nick Gage fucking Jericho match. I didn't like that shit at all. But
don't spoil it for me because I haven't watched Dynamite yet. I got to watch it tonight. Well,
you'll watch it and you'll see what I'm talking about. But yeah, man,
I've seen clips, but
I don't know what Vince is talking about. I don't know. Whatever. I mean, just like Jim Ross the other day, I was listening to Jim Ross's podcast, and Ross said they were talking about the NWO and the WWE. And Jim Ross says, I don't think Vince ever saw 10 minutes of the NWO during their entire run.
He'd be right.
Yeah. He didn't say nothing about it because he said he wasn't impressed with it because all the guys had worked for him. Vince never watched anybody's Vince never watched anybody's product. Bruce Prichard did. Jim Cornette did. Jim Ross did. But Vince never did. Vince has always been in his bubble with WWE. And that's why when they came over to WWF, the shit didn't work like it could have.
Right.
It could have worked, but Vince didn't create it, so he wasn't going to let it work.
Like ECW, he didn't create it, so it didn't work.
Yeah.
So
extremely crappy wrestling.
Yep, that was horrible. But let's talk about this for a minute. So if he's saying shit, maybe we ought to send some more. Are we to expect more releases from WWE?
That's kind of what I think. What he's saying is that I think he's kind of acknowledging the CM Punk, Bryan Danielson signings by saying send them more. I think he's acknowledging that's what's going on. Okay, Braun Strowman. To me personally, I don't see that one happening. I don't think Braun Strowman can do anything for AEW. I think it would be a bad fit for the roster. And they don't need him. It's like, okay, you got Punk. If you got Punk and Danielson, that's where you need to cut it off at that point, and then focus on the talent you already have and build them up.
Right. I agree
because what's going on right now is that I don't have a problem with wrestlers getting released from WWE and then coming over to AEW or whatever, right. But just kind of looking like TNA a little bit when TNA was signed anybody from WWE.
Right.
But AEW is not doing that. I'll give them credit. They're not doing that. They only signed certain people. Like they've signed Malachi Black.
Mm-hmm. That was a no-brainer.
No-brainer. They got Christian, which is a no-brainer.
Another no-brainer.
You know, they got obviously Punk, and they're gonna get Danielson. That's good. Cut it off right there. Don't bring anybody else.
They've been really smart because that last wave of releases, I think they only picked Malachi Black out of that last wave, if I'm not mistaken. Which a lot of people got released, but out of that, like Lana was gone. And it would have made sense for her to go with Rusev or Miro, but you know, she's not shown up yet.
They expect it to happen. You
expect it to happen. It hasn't happened yet. But who else? Not Chelsea Green, but what's her name? Was in the Iconics.
Peyton
Royce. She's not there yet. Her husband's there, but she's not there yet. Like that shit would have made it. They could have did it, and it still made sense for them to do it, but they haven't done it yet. You know what I mean? Like Braun Strowman's not there.
I agree that and I'd love to see them bring in more women. They got Thunder Rosa,
right.
They got a hell of a worker there, but they need to get like Serena Deeb, sign her to a deal.
Yes, they need her.
Bring Abaddon over from Dark Elevation, bring her over to the main show. You can do look. Abaddon has a look that really no other female out there has, and they can really use some of that. If you take a look at Abaddon versus Alexa Bliss, there ain't no comparison, bro. Abaddon just blows her out the fucking water.
Right,
and Abaddon can work. Abaddon's a better wrestler than Alexa Bliss. Yeah, she's a better wrestler. And I'm sorry, but I'm not digging Nyla Rose. Can't get into it.
Fair point. Not a lot of people can. It's fair.
Yeah, just can't do it.
Yes, not a lot of people are into her, and she's been lukewarm at best here lately. So, I mean, maybe if you want to put her on Dark or Dark Elevation, that's fine. But that's a fair point. It's a fair point. Like she's part of the company, cool, but I don't see the fans like when she first started versus now. That steam's gone, and you can tell it's gone. And at this point, a lot of people are like, "Man, all right, she's cool, but slide back a little bit." And that's fair. If the crowd's not with you, that's fair. That's a fair point.
Yeah, yeah,
it's a fair point. She's held the belt. She's done her work. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is at this point.
I mean, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, is pretty much carrying that division.
is carrying that division.
Yeah, carrying that division. But
is carrying that division.
But that's where I say you bring in somebody like an Abaddon over there and let her go after Britt Baker. That'd be some good shit. But they want to keep Britt Baker, even though Britt Baker at this point should be a babyface. She cut a heel promo on Dynamite.
Right.
I don't understand that part. Like, the fans want to cheer you. Let them cheer you. That, you know.
Or maybe they're setting up when they start doing shit like that, they're probably setting up an angle for somebody big to come in and fight with her. You know what I mean? Like,
that could be the case. Yeah. Yeah, that could be the case. I don't
That's
know.
one thing I've noticed about AEW. Like, when they start flipping the switch a little bit and the lines are getting blurry, some big shit is about to happen. Like,
Right.
and there's gonna be some shit that the crowd's gonna fuck with, which is what I like about AEW. Like, they go to that realm of where, oh, y'all don't like me no more, cool, fuck y'all. All right, bigger person comes in, feud, and it makes fucking sense. And they do a lot of callbacks in AEW too.
Right. Yeah.
So
they do a lot of callbacks. So especially when it comes to their tag team division.
Yep.
One of the best tag divisions going today. Lots of callbacks to great tag teams like, Demolition.
No. No. But yeah, they do that. So one of the clips I seen from last night is two actually.
Yeah.
It was where they did a callback from Revolution where it was Kenny and Hangman versus the Young Bucks, and it was Hangman standing on the ropes and those three were in the ring.
Yeah.
That was fucking cool.
That was because they had been building that shit.
Yeah,
and
that
we
was
all
fucking
thought
cool.
that Hangman was about to do the fucking buckshot lariat on Omega, and he didn't. He just said, "Come on!" But they were building that shit. That was good storytelling. But now they've kind of squashed Hangman. They kind of pushed him to the side. And
I don't know why they're doing that.
The word that I'm hearing now is that they're about to pretty much push Christian into that feud with Kenny Omega at this point. They've dropped the whole Hangman experiment for right now.
No, I wanted to see that. And I really would like to see Hangman as champion, because I think he deserves it. But that would break my heart if they don't do that. But
they're not.
Eventually he's got to be.
Eventually they'll do it. Eventually they'll do it, but right now it's not going to happen. Because people have speculated. They're saying basically the reason why it's not happening is because of the arrival of Punk and Danielson. They see that's a bigger match on paper with them two versus Omega versus maybe a Hangman Page. Because see, Hangman Page just really started getting his steam back and really started getting over again because he had been so stale, and now it's like they did the match last night and the Elite just destroyed him. Like, there ain't no coming back from that. I don't necessarily think that was a good idea. I thought they could have at least done the match between the two. And then, do whatever they want to do. If they want to do some shenanigans, at least do the match.
Right.
They're not even going to do the match now. It's like Heyman's out of the picture. And they made a very big deal last night about Christian Cage's record in AEW, which is I'm assuming now he's going to be the one going for that championship.
Maybe.
Yeah.
But then something else interesting happened. There was a promo with Darby Allen.
Yes.
And Darby Allen said, "Come to Chicago.
Even if you are
the best in the world."
Right.
And the crowd went crazy.
Right.
They went crazy.
Right.
Is this a CM Punk reference?
Hell yeah, it's a CM Punk reference. That's fuck yeah. I mean, that's shit. You would if it wasn't, you wouldn't have had to come out there and say that. Number two, you would have muted the audience that were chanting for CM Punk. It would have been a done deal. And I think we're probably on the evolution right now. We're probably in the midst of another summer of Punk.
Does this change the game?
I think it changes the game a little bit because CM Punk is still a name, and people still change his name after all these years.
Him to come back.
He's still a guy that's and I honestly think, and seeing it now, even with the fans being back in WWE, it's the same shit product. Raw is the same shit show that it always has been. It's just now you have people back.
Yep.
SmackDown is only good, honestly, when Roman's on or Usos. That's it.
Speaking of which, Roman cut a fucking hell of a promo, and I didn't think he had it in him, but he fucking cut one hell of a promo on Friday. I was like, where the fuck has this person been? Because this is who we need right now. That guy, I like.
Yeah. Yeah. And it wasn't. He wasn't lying.
Oh, he wasn't.
When he said the shit, it wasn't like he wasn't fucking telling the truth. He was telling the truth. Yeah. John Cena is like, missionary
it's
over
missionary.
and over every single night. Yeah. And he's right.
It was great.
The only difference I see with John Cena now is the dude needs a tan on his fucking legs. The dude needs a tan, and he's bald. That's it.
Yep.
Other than that, it's the same John.
Yeah. Hell yeah. But back to Punk, because I think you're right. The summer of Punk is upon us.
Right.
So I don't know where they're going with it, but it seems like the in all likelihood, August 26th, 20th, something like that.
August 20th, the day before
August 20th. Yep. August 20th is the day that we all need to brace ourselves.
Yep. AEW Rampage, Chicago. United Center.
That's the day we need to brace ourselves for.
United Center has had a lot of crazy shit happen when it comes to wrestling. Majority of it happened in WCW. If you guys remember, the United Center is the fucking bomb-ass entrance with Hollywood Hogan and Dennis Rodman coming out the Voodoo Child. That was a shit. So they've had Chicago is known for surprises. Chicago's a raucous fucking crowd. Chicago's also the place where CM Punk beat John Cena for the WWE Championship and fucking went out through the crowd and took the belt home and put it in his refrigerator.
Yep.
So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens with this situation. I'm also looking forward to hearing the Cult of Personality once again. And when they bring in Bryan Danielson, if that happens, if they bring in Danielson, Bryan Danielson has to have the final countdown for his theme song. Yes. We all know Tony Khan has no issues licensing fucking music, unlike Mr. McMahon.
No, he doesn't.
Unlike Mr. McMahon, he has no problem licensing songs. So I would love to hear the final countdown from Bryan Danielson.
Now, is it a possibility that we can get Bryan Danielson and CM Punk on the same night? Or are we going to get CM Punk in Chicago, and what they've been rumoring is New York for Bryan Danielson?
I think that's what they're going to do. And because a lot of people have also said online too recently that AEW believes in long-term storytelling, so they don't really break from what they're doing. They broke from what they're doing with Heyman and Page.
Yes, they did.
They completely broke that storyline to go in a different direction with Kenny Omega. So I think that's exactly what we're going to see. I think, for a show like Rampage to debut, I wouldn't be shocked if Omega says, I'm going to put the World Championship on the line right now against anybody. I don't care who the fuck it is, anybody. And CM Punk walks out there and beats him for the title right there. That's how you create that buzz, and you do that shit the night before the biggest party of the summer scam in Las Vegas.
Are you suggesting Kenny Omega, the belt collector, drops the AEW title on an open challenge to CM Punk? Because if that's what you're suggesting, Take my money.
I'm saying if you want to make a big deal about this Rampage show, that this is a must-see show, you have got to see it because you don't know what the hell is going to happen. Kind of like Nitro back in the day. You have to watch because you don't know what the hell Bischoff's going to do next. You bring in Punk. You have Omega out there. You have Don Callis out there, or the Elite. I'm putting the World Championship on the line right now against anybody. Open challenge right now. Hit the fucking music. Coach personality plays over the fucking PA system. Out walks CM Punk. He gets up there. He's feeling it. It's clobbering time. Hits the fucking ring. Then you gotta do a long match. Fucking GTS. 1, 2, 3. Omega beat. Now you're World Champion CM Punk. That's how I would book it. That's what I would do.
Take my money right now.
Because AEW, you can have that idea.
Yeah, you could turn the entire world on its head with that move.
And it's a strategic move because
you don't even have to.
The day before
you don't even have to have him go over. You don't even.
No,
have
you
to have
need him.
Go.
No, you have him go over.
No. Here's what you do. Here's what you do. You can have him issue out the open challenge, right? CM Punk debuts, and to keep the heat, Kenny Omega just walks the fuck away.
Nah, see that doesn't work.
Why not?
It doesn't get the same reaction. It doesn't get the reaction. You have Chicago, which is Punk's hometown. You got all these people there, and the heat is going to be crazy because they're going to be expecting him to come out there, but they're not expecting him to be the world champion. They're not expecting that. You can't do the coward. You can't have Kenny Omega go out there and play the.
So if you're gonna do it, go all the way through.
Go all the way, especially because the next day WWE's doing SummerSlam. So what they gonna do? Are they gonna switch the title? Are they gonna have Johnson to beat Roman, or are they gonna do Roman? Go over John Cena. Is Goldberg gonna squash Lashley, or is Lashley gonna squash Goldberg? But we know one thing: CM Punk is a new AEW champion. What you got, WWE?
That is a very, very good point. That is a very, very good point.
Yep.
That is a very good point. He's now AEW champion.
And the unstoppable force. You talk about we move on to the Bryan Danielson coming in. That's what I would do. You got fucking Miro, who's a TNT champion, running fucking wild over everybody. He's God's champion. Okay?
Yeah.
You have Miro come out there. I'm putting the TNT championship on the line right now, right here in New York City. I'm putting the title against anybody. Final countdown plays. Out walks Bryan Danielson, American Dragon, to step up to the plate against Miro. Bryan Danielson beats Miro to become the TNT champion. Then you will see it. He goes out there and destroys Miro.
We're talking business. We're talking business.
That's what I would do. So, hey, AEW, you guys can have that. Go ahead and do it.
Cut the check, please.
Yeah. No
Gimmicks podcast.
Yeah. Go ahead and hire us for creative at AEW. Don't worry about it. I won't do any pole matches.
So, hypothetically, that happens. SummerSlam the next night. What are we doing for SummerSlam?
Do we give a fuck?
We have to. We're wrestling fans.
Why do we care?
We have to.
I don't care.
We have to.
I don't give a shit.
So if CM Punk shows up,
yeah,
we do not give a fuck about SummerSlam.
I don't care about SummerSlam. I don't care about it now.
I care about it, but there's only one match I really care about.
Bruh, I most likely, seriously, I'll probably be watching fucking SummerSlam 91 or something that night. Or SummerSlam 2002. I'll watch Brock Lesnar versus The Rock. I mean, literally, like when I'm watching SmackDown on Fridays on Fox, I got the Peacock on and I'm watching Nitro or Thunder. Yeah, I only watch Roman's segment or something. You know, I don't really care about the rest of the show.
SmackDown. Well, let's go. Let's talk.
SmackDown has its moments.
Let's talk about SmackDown because I was really disappointed with SmackDown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
For as good a product, and SmackDown is a good product. It really is. For all intents and purposes, SmackDown is the best WWE show they got. The best. Is it touching AEW Dynamite? Not really. But it is the best WWE product that they have. And since it's the best, they try to get more and more creative. Hence this Rolling Loud shit that they did this past weekend. I was not fucking feeling it. I have to be honest. I was not feeling the Rolling Loud matches, period. Because the crowd didn't look like they were feeling it. The crowd looked like they was high as shit. And wrestling was going on, and they thought they were there for music. But since wrestling is going on, we're going to cheer this shit. That's what it looked like. It looked like they didn't have no fucking business being there, really. And
you're talking about the segment with the, what was it, the Street Profits and Bianca?
Yeah. So those two matches, they look like they didn't belong there at all. And they were short matches. Granted, you have to keep them short because the crowd wasn't really that engaged any fucking way, and I think they knew that. But for future reference, don't do no shit like this no more. It's not like WCW Row Wild. You know what I mean? It's not like that, where you go to a place where you have a whole bunch of people who actually like wrestling and they also ride motorcycles. So the matches are going to be interactive. It wasn't that.
That's kind of, I get what you're saying, but that's kind of questionable. And I hate to be that guy, but, you know, look, you go back to the first WCW Sturgis show, which was Hog Wild.
Hog Wild, that's what I meant.
Yeah. No, you're right. It was Hog Wild first, and then the next year they changed it to Road Wild because Harley Davidson sued WCW over the Hog Wild name, so they couldn't call it Hog Wild anymore. But you look at the crowd at Hog Wild, the very first one in Sturgis, and that's a crowd that's there for a motorcycle rally and can give a fuck about wrestling. Right. They know who Hulk Hogan was. Right. But they didn't really, I don't think they gave a shit about any of the other guys on the card. I mean, they were, you know, they might have they probably liked what they saw as the show went on. But you had fucking Dean Malenko versus Chris Benoit on that show. You had fucking Rey Mysterio versus Ultimo Dragon on that show. You had fucking Eddie Guerrero versus Ric Flair on that show. You had Hall and Nash versus Luger and Sting on that show. You had Hogan versus the Giant. But that's the point. They were cheering Hogan, and Hogan had just turned heel. He was in WO. They were supposed to be cheering the Giant, and they were booing the Giant and cheering for Hogan. So you have the same situation. You fast forward now, where you have these matches going on, and nobody's reacting to it. And nobody's reacting to it because honestly, let's just keep it 1,000. WWE is not popular enough to even be in that situation.
They had no business being there.
Yeah. If this was 98 WWF. Oh, they would have been blowing the fucking roof out.
Oh yeah, they'd have been in the crowd wilding the fuck
exactly.
out. But they were not doing that.
No,
it was just like
no one.
It was just like you know how you have an intermission. Like if you go to we went to the Bobby, Ronnie, Ricky, and Mike. Right, we went to that concert. Right, they had an intermission. Crowd was kind of flat. Right, you could have brought something out to do it, but that ain't why we're here. That's what that crowd looked like. It's like, this ain't why we're here. Right, it's happening, it's cool, but where the fuck is the music at? This is what I paid for. I paid for the music. I ain't paid for all this extra shit.
Yeah, they could have been playing some music and had a wrestling at the same time.
Yep, and it would probably would have went better, but it was just. Kill the music, kill the crowd. Let's put on a wrestling match. Yeah. Like, why the fuck? Like, if I was at that concert, I would have been asking myself, why the fuck is this happening? Like, I get it, but why? You know what I mean? Right. And Wale brought him out. Wale's a big wrestling fan. Like, he was interacting in the match, and like that, it made sense at that point. But afterwards, it was like the crowd ain't feeling it. Wrap this shit up. Right. You know what I mean? Like, wrap it up. Crowd ain't feeling it. And it's kind of like what they did too, because the finishes were like roll-ups and shit. Like I know Bianca's was a roll-up, and the Street Profits kind of it looked like they ended abruptly.
Yeah,
like they was just like wrap this shit up because they ain't feeling it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it was. It's just WWE should they're not on that level anymore. They think they are, but they're just not on that level anymore. I don't give a shit what celebrity out there tweets you and all that bullshit. I don't give a shit. They're not mainstream anymore.
Yeah, no, not at all, not at all. But there it is. All right, man. Final thoughts. What you got?
Man, final thoughts is going to be, the show's going to get better as we move forward. You and I have been talking about some things. We're going to possibly potentially we're going to probably do a SummerSlam watch along. We're gonna try to do that. Gonna probably work out the actual factuals of that situation there. So stay tuned to that. And that's pretty much it, man. I got nothing. I got nothing left. Yeah, that's it. So, I
want to send a shout out to all my wrestling fans out there. That there was a Twitter question about like what wrestling opinion can you die on, and somebody wrote Eddie Guerrero was a B+ player, and Twitter went ape shit.
Yeah, I saw that.
So shout out to everybody that contributed to that shit because it was comedy,
bruh. Okay, look.
Speak on it.
I mean, it ain't like the motherfucker was lying.
Whoa, hold up. We may have to extend this podcast. Speak.
I mean, look, I'm a Guerrero fan. I enjoy his. I was watching Guerrero in WCW. I watched all his shit, WCW all the way to the WWE. But it ain't like Guerrero was like this mega fucking superstar that transcended fucking wrestling. He ain't like he was on the Rock, the Rock or Austin or anything like that. I mean, the guy was a WWE champion one fucking time, and
that's not his fault.
He couldn't handle the pressure. He even said he couldn't handle the pressure of being a champion, and they dropped him to JBL.
That's not that run though it ended.
He was a good character. Guerrero was a good character. Guerrero was a good Makk technician. Guerrero was a good. Guerrero was a good part of the show. But I mean, no, I mean, he was it's a B+, yeah.
Damn.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna sit there and say nothing like, "Oh, I'm gonna say this because the guy is deceased or whatever." I'm gonna tell it like it is. He just, I mean, shit.
B+ though, A+, maybe not. A+ is a stretch.
I don't really.
Because he wasn't a transcendent. It was
a stereotypical.
B+.
It was a stereotypical gimmick. It was a fucking. It's just like, look, it was a cruiserweight being presented as a heavyweight. That's it. It was.
They do that now.
That's what I'm saying. The business is. I mean, that's what I'm saying. The business has changed, involved in that. But at the time, that wasn't the way it was.
Yeah, that doesn't make him a B+ player. That makes him. Man. If that man paved the way for what you're seeing right now, which is some of the greatest wrestling we've ever seen. If he paved that road, that does not make him a B+. That at a minimum, he's an A.
Who's a trendsetter? Who's a trendsetter who was not a B+ player, who was, in my opinion, an A+ player? Rey Mysterio.
Man, if you don't get the fuck out,
tell me how he wasn't.
Yes, I'm saying that. But if you're saying Rey Mysterio is a A+ player, there's no way. There's no way you can't.
I thought Mysterio was better than Eddie. I thought Benoit was better than Eddie.
Blasphemy. This is egregious.
I thought Benoit was better than Eddie Guerrero.
No, he wasn't. Technically, he may have been more sound, but all around he was not better than Eddie Guerrero.
Bruh. I'm
calling the spade a spade.
Listen. Let me tell you something. I am a Eddie Guerrero fan. I respect that man, everything he did in the business. Okay, I'm not talking nothing. I'm not talking bad about him. I'm just stating how I feel about it. He was not an A+ player. He was not an A talent. He was a B+ player on the B fucking show, SmackDown.
But Rey fucking Mysterio is an A+ player.
Rey Mysterio was doing shit that motherfuckers wasn't doing. Rey Mysterio in that cruiserweight division
was Eddie Guerrero.
Bruh.
What Eddie Guerrero was doing, people still cannot do.
Okay, I watch a show on YouTube. It's called Wrestling Bios. Okay, it's a channel on YouTube called Wrestling Bios.
This might be a whole nother pod. We might have to Patreon exclusive this shit because we're gonna have to talk about this.
Hey, but I'm just saying enough. It is, man. Everybody is up in roar about the situation. I'm like, why are y'all getting so mad about it? First of all, it's fucking wrestling. That's number one.
Yes,
number
it
two,
is. But
number
to say
two,
Eddie Guerrero is a B+ player,
he was.
Y'all, it's blasphemous.
He was. He was.
But Chris Benoit's better. First of all, let's compare total packages, right?
I am. I saw Chris Benoit doing some fucking crazy ass matches in WCW with DDP.
Yes, he did. So did
I saw Chris Benoit beat Sid Vicious for the WCW World Championship. I didn't see Guerrero doing that.
Because Benoit had to push. You know that.
Well,
Benoit had the Horseman push. You know.
Hey, listen. But there was no Horseman at the time. There was no Horseman anymore.
He still had that. He still had that push. He was a Horseman. He still had that.
Look at the match. Look at the match that Benoit had with Bret Hart on Nitro, the Owen Hart tribute show on Nitro, the Owen Hart tribute match. That shows right there. Look, let me tell you, like I said before, man, I'm not knocking Eddie. I'm just saying that the guy is overrated.
How, Sway? How?
He's as overrated, bro. And this is what's gonna get you. This is where I'm gonna tell you right here. You're gonna be like, "What the fuck?" Right? I'm gonna tell you something shocking. NWO, love NWO, love the angle, over fucking rated, stable. Okay, because
I would agree with you.
How many matches can you look back to during the entire run of the NWO and say, you know, them motherfuckers out there went out there and killed it. They went out there and just that. I mean, Hogan really killed it in that match against Piper. Hogan really killed it in that match against Hall and Nash really killed it out there tonight against the Steiners. Oh, they really killed it against Harlem Heat tonight. I can't. That's one thing I will say about Guerrero. Well, that's why I say that's where the plus comes in with the B. Because at least like I said about Guerrero, he go out there and would have one of the best matches of the night. That don't make you an A+ player. It doesn't. You're claiming because another thing is this, dude, is that Guerrero had one good match, maybe not one, but a couple good matches with Kurt Angle doing his run as champion. I mean, he beat Kurt for the belt. And then he had, after that you feuding with JBL, bro. So that's not exactly A+ material here. You're fucking feuding with Bradshaw, who one week was APA, next week he's the fucking $1 million man.
Wilding the fuck out is what you were doing.
Am I right or wrong? One week he's up here in the locker room with Paul Heyman, and Heyman, he's in there with Ron Simmons, and JBL's talking about, I got a book, I'm on Fox News, yada yada yada. And Ron Simmons goes ahead and leaves, and that's the end of the team. And next week, fucking JBL's come out there with new music and John Bradshaw Layfield, because they didn't have no fucking heels to go up for Guerrero. Guerrero's championship run, I will say this, in defense of Eddie, his championship run was sabotaged because WWE had nobody ready for him to have that run.
This is true.
Kind of like when Warrior became champion, they had nobody ready for him. when he became champion. It was all about Hogan's going off to make the movies. We got to get the belt on Warrior and push him. Okay, we got the belt on Warrior, push him. Who the fuck we got for him to wrestle with? Nobody. Oh, okay, we'll put him back in there with Rick Rude.
No, you make good points. You make good points.
Of course I do.
However, the greatest match I have ever seen.
Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero, how we have 97.
Greatest match I've ever seen.
That's a good match. Absolutely.
And it had way more to do with the storytelling that Eddie was doing than what Rey Mysterio was doing.
Bruh, that's one of my favorite matches. I'm not disputing it. It's one of my favorite fucking matches on that whole show. Halloween Havoc 97. Las Vegas, Nevada, MGM Grand. I know the history. I know. But that one fucking match does not equivalent to this motherfucker's A+ player.
Bro,
you know what A+ player? An A+ player, The Rock. A+, Undertaker. A+, Stone Cold Steve Austin. A+, Shawn Michaels. A+, Bret the Hitman Hart. A+, Macho Man Randy Savage. A+, personality, Hulk Hogan. A+, worker personality, Ric fucking Flair. B+ player, Lex Luger.
I agree.
Okay?
I agree.
B+ player, Sting.
We gotta have grades. That's what we'll do next time.
Sting.
We'll grade wrestlers.
I'll fight me on the shit.
We'll grade wrestlers on this one. I'm coming armed and dangerous.
I look forward.
I am coming armed and fucking dangerous.
I look forward to it.
If Eddie Guerrero is a B+, that's my benchmark. Eddie Guerrero is a B+ player.
Absolutely.
Watch how many C's you have.
How many matches? Let me ask you this question real quick. How many years did Eddie Guerrero carry Monday Night Raw?
0.
He never fucking did. That was the A show. And that A show was carried by another B+ player. His name is Triple H, who's an A+ player.
He's a B+ player
simply because of who he married.
Yep, he's a B+ player that married the company.
That's my point. So I don't discriminate. Just like I got to put Sting in the B+ category.
Watch my bar.
I got to put Sting in the B+ category because Sting only had that one run in WCW, and it wasn't like he.
Watch my bar. I
can't wait.
Eddie Guerrero is a B+ player.
He sure the fuck is.
Next week, watch how many people end up on the other side of that shit. Watch how many.
Hey, we can turn it down. But somebody will tell me.
Load of people down.
Somebody will fucking tell me though. Somebody will tell me that Andre the Giant was an A+ player. Bullshit. Right? Roddy Piper, A+ player. Roddy Piper, A+ player. The Great Muta, A+ player. Masahiro Chono, A+ player.
Sir, back up. Roddy Piper is an A+ player.
Fuck yeah. Tell me how he wasn't.
How many championships did Roddy Piper win?
Roddy didn't need the belt.
No, now he don't need the belt.
No. Roddy didn't need the belt. Certain people don't need the belt.
Now you don't need the belt.
Certain people don't need championships.
Okay. That's what we're doing?
How many times did Taker have the WWE championship?
2.
Did he need the belt?
No.
To beat Jake the Snake Roberts. Did he ever hold the championship? No. Did he need the belt? No.
B+. They're all B+.
Who? Jake?
They're all B+.
Jake?
How many shows did he carry?
Who's that?
How many shows did Roddy Piper carry?
WrestleMania 1.
We're not talking pay-per-views. How many continuous shows did he carry?
They didn't have shows like that back in the day in the WWF.
All right. Was he a main event draw?
Who, Roddy Piper?
No.
Yes, he was. You paid to let me put it like this. WrestleMania 1, people paid to see Hulk Hogan kick Roddy Piper's ass. That's what they paid for.
No, they didn't.
Yes,
they paid to see Mr. T kick Roddy Piper's ass.
No, they paid. Yeah, they did. But Piper is the one who drew them in because that was their hatred for Piper. Look at Piper's entrance at WrestleMania 1. It shows you right there. They hate the motherfucker. They want to see him get killed. That's the heel is the one who's the draw. The heel is the draw. The babyface chases after the heel and sends home the crowd home happy. It was Piper.
So if we doing that, did the company believe in him enough to put the strap on him?
Who, Piper?
No.
Piper didn't need the strap.
Did they believe in him enough to put the strap on him? That makes
because you're in the era of Hulkamania, so Piper doesn't need it. Piper is a part of the project. Is what I'm saying. $1 Million Man should have been a WWE champion and didn't have it. No, you can't say that. You can't say that.
B+.
How is Piper a B+? How is Piper a B+?
He's a B+ because he was never the man. If you ain't the man in that era, then you B+.
Piper wasn't the man.
You ain't the man.
Hogan
if you're the man, you got the belt on.
Hogan and fucking Flair will tell you Piper was the man.
If you are the man, you have to.
You don't need the prop to be the man. It's a fucking
That's
prop.
What we doing. That's what we doing.
Do you need the belt to be the man? Like to be the man, I gotta have the fucking strap. To be the man.
You know why? Because to be the man, you have to beat the man. Did he ever beat the man? No.
Flair.
Best heel in the business, right? We got him in the comments. Best heel in the business. To be the man, you got to beat the man. I'm in here with this belt on my waist, $25,000 Rolex on my wrist, limousine riding. A+. He's the man.
I said that already.
He's the man. You know why? He's a heel who draws and he has a strap on him.
Okay.
He's carrying the company.
So we're going by draws, right?
No.
So we're going by draws. Is that what we're going by?
No, I'm saying off your logic. If we're going off your logic,
what's my logic? What's my logic?
B+.
What's my
logic?
You
a draw? Are you a draw?
Piper? Piper was a draw. WrestleMania 1 and then the War to Soda score.
Are you a draw? Can you carry the company?
Piper drew. You gotta have a protagonist and you gotta have an antagonist. Piper was the antagonist to Hogan's protagonist. That's the way it works. That's the way it works. It ain't fucking chess man, it's checkers. You feel me? It's like Batman and the Joker. Okay? One can't be without the other. Don't work that way.
Of course, I know this.
Right. So the same thing with Hogan and Piper. Why did Hogan want Piper to come to WCW in the first place? Because Hogan knows Piper's a draw. He can make money with him. It's all about making money. It's all a work, player. As my friend Taylor tells me, it's all a work. People get up in arms about B+ and C+ and A+. It's all fucking work. Doesn't matter. It's wrestling. You're as good as I tell you are because of how I script this shit out for you to be. That's the bottom line. Listen, if I go out there and say, hey, you know what? I'm the WWE champion. I'm scripting myself to be an A+ player. Even though I can get in the ring and I'm suck ass. But I'm the fucking man because I say I'm the man because that's the way I'm scripted. To say I'm the man. Same fucking thing. It's all a work, player. Okay? It's all fucking work. Doesn't matter. It ain't real. Shit, Ric Flair didn't hold the fucking championship 16 fucking times. Motherfucker says, hey, Rick, you're going to go over tonight. That's it. And people get so up in the roar. Like this entire segment, I've trolled you.
I'm just saying. If Eddie Guerrero's a B+ player,
he was.
Okay. Just like Demolition, B+.
Hey, call what you want. Call what you want.
Just like Demolition, B+.
Hey, listen. Let me explain something to you.
Just like New Edition. New Edition is a B+ group.
Oh, they're a B+ group behind who?
Boyz II Men.
Oh, we're going back to this bullshit again. See, you know that shit right there. That you know how to grind my fucking gears, bro. You know how to piss me off. See, that's what you're trying to get under my skin right now, and I ain't gonna let you do it.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here on the No Gimmicks podcast.
Yeah, because you're a fucking asshole.
Fucking B+
yeah, you're a fucking asshole.
boy band.
Yeah, you're a fucking asshole, dude.
You heard it right here.
Tell me a B+, new edition with B+ players. Fuck out of here.
fucking plus.
Oh, so I guess Bobby Brown was a B+ player too.
Yeah, next to Rob Tresvant.
Really? Oh, he was a B+ the next round, but sold more fucking records.
Mm.
Really?
In that group, he's a B+ player.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
That's why he had to leave, because he was a B+ player.
You know something? You know, Black Makk. You know, Mr. Macaroni. You're full of shit. And you know you are. You're deliberately doing this right now to irritate me. That's all you're doing.
Bobby Brown was a B+ player.
You don't like the fact. You don't like the fact. You don't like the fact that I called out Latino Heat. So now you want to come back at me with New Edition. I guess you're saying, oh, well, Boyz II Men is a better group. Really?
They are. They sold more.
Oh, they sold more than New Edition, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, well, I tell you what.
They did. That's a fact.
When New Edition comes back to concert, which they are, they're coming back to concert. Your ass better not be there.
I will, to see the B+ group.
Oh, the B+ group? You know what, dude? Yeah, I tell you, you know what? I think we've had enough tonight.
Yes, we have.
Much of bullshit.
So thank y'all for tuning in to the No Gimmicks podcast, man. Episode 4. Come back again. We'll be right here. We'll be talking some more real shit. Y'all be good. Be easy. Peace.
Deuces.